Think if you stopped anyone on the street for the last 25 years and asked them, name a semiconductor company. For the most part, until a few years ago, the only answer that you would have heard is Intel. Let's take a look at what's happened to the stock over the last 11 years. As you can see here, stock in 2013, roughly $25 a share, gets up into the high 60s here essentially in 2019, 2020. A lot going on with Intel, Apple, laptops, a lot of good things going on there. But then essentially since then, straight lower with one little hiccup up. $22 last. A lot of struggles going on in Intel right now. Let's take a look at the numbers as to why that's happening. So we want to start all the way back here in 2013. Intel is running pretty well here, $100+ billion enterprise value. They're doing about $52 billion in revenue. They get down here to the cash from operations about $20 billion. And here's something we wanted to point out about this company specifically. The CapEx bill that comes for Intel and for semiconductors in general is very, very high. So in this year, they spent $10 billion in CapEx. In aggregate from 2013 to 2024, $207 billion in CapEx. Why do you spend money in CapEx? Well, two reasons. One is to raise revenue, and the other is to increase margins. Let's take a look at all those numbers and then jump to the future. $52 billion in revenue, 60% gross margin, 39% EBITDA, 18% net income margins. Let's compare those to present day. Remember $52 billion in revenue? It hasn't moved. They haven't increased revenues at all. And margins are all lower. 60% became 40, 39% became 18, and 18% became 2. All of these margins went down. So they didn't increase margin and they didn't increase revenue, and they spent $207 billion in what is mostly useless dollars. Their lunch was eaten. Who ate their lunch? What did they spend that on, and what actually got hot? Let's look at NVIDIA. In 2013, NVIDIA's revenues were $4 billion. Today, they hover around $100 billion. How much would Intel have loved to get a piece of that $96 billion? How easy with that kind of CapEx budget should it have been for them to be the winner in the data center and GPU world where NVIDIA is winning? They should have been the winner, but they misspent the $207 billion. What do we have now in Intel? We have negative free cash flow of $14 billion. When you're losing that kind of money on an annual basis, you need to go up here and borrow money in the debt pile, so the net debt continues to increase at Intel. They have higher debt, they have lower margins, they still are not winning, and they really need to find something that eats this new world growth. The data center, GPU chips, all of these things that they missed on, they need to find a way into them if they're going to fix all of these issues. But at the crux of it, the problem with Intel was $207 billion in CapEx spending that didn't move the needle. That's why the stock hasn't gone anywhere. That's it on Intel from us. Thanks so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Hit us on all the socials. We've really appreciated all the feedback. We've got all the questions and all the folks that are asking about certain stocks. We'd love to do all that for you. Please hit us on all that stuff, and we appreciate your time.